Hello, it's me and the DPV. So it's time for another walkthrough guide. This time we are on Stash. This is an extremely polarizing map, depending on who you talk to. This is either an extremely diver-sided map, or this is an extremely shark-sided map. I would say that this map is probably slightly shark-sided, but not enough of a way that divers can't mount a suitable defense. So, what do we know about Stash? Stash has a very strange combination of enclosed areas that still manage to feel and act wide. What do I mean by that is, well, you can kind of take a look out here. You spawn out here. This is your first safe room. It looks small, and then you notice that this thing is really deep, and almost everything here is breakable. So while it looks confined, and it acts confined at a certain point, sharks can easily open this thing up to basically just kind of put you in a cereal bowl, and they're just going to swoop in and pick you off like the last Fruit Loops in that cereal bowl. There's lots of gold scattered out throughout the bridges, but it's very easy to get picked off because out here it is very bright. Out here we also have a med kit and an ammo pickup. That's a very quick jaunt away, so if you know where the sharks are, that's well within your risk parameters to go pick up. Lots of treasure out here to pick up, although I would say leave this bridge for whenever you go to safe room number 2, because this is the way you'll be headed. There's some more treasure over here. There's another ammo pickup. Some gold, usually some gold right behind here, although it doesn't look like it spawned back here this time. Here we go. The sharks usually spawn somewhere behind that corner, and so you can kind of expect them to come from that particular area. If you have vision to throw, I would suggest putting it there. I know a particularly clever diver can come through here, place a sonar buoy like right here. Sharks won't see it as they come around the side, but it will pick them up as they come by. So you'll pick up all this gold as you come through, and in this room we come to the second safe room. Now immediately you'll say, hey, this is a confined room. Why do you call it open? One, because all these grates can be busted open. There's a great big hole in the wall up there, and then there's this entire open area up top. We got an area that leads to the outside. We got a big old hole in the ceiling that leads to the outside. Breakable door. We have more breakable grates and a big old hole in the concrete wall. Up here and to the right of the safe is going to be another med kit and ammo pickup. Again, this is fairly close, so if you know where the sharks are, this is definitely within grabbing range. You also have this door back here that can be busted open for sharks to make a real quick grab and go. So be aware that this room is a lot bigger than it looks, because most people don't. Most people will stay real close to Steve, and they end up getting picked off because they forget that they can dodge up and move around. If you bring a shark up here, you have a lot more options of where you're going to dodge. If you pick a shark down here, you know, 180 degrees of your potential fighting area is a wall, and you can't get away from it, and the rest of it is corners. So do be aware of the entire wall. Wow, I do apologize. I've done a couple of these videos today. I've done, I believe, 4. And my throat is getting very sore, so I do apologize if my voice gets a little scratchy and deepened as we go on. But we will finish this video, and then I will give my beloved voice a rest, and we move on. Second room, we move through here. This, again, is actually what looks like a wide open area. It's actually kind of confined, especially in a shark's point of view. This is a big old cage. Third room is all the way down here at the bottom. Through this here hole, and this is probably the room that gets the most polarization, because it's not particularly one side or the other. Sharks head this way to come through. They can break this door open and have a quick in and out. They can break that door and this door open for a nice in and out. That door and that door. They have this big old hole in the wall. They can kind of sneak through. Vision out here is going to be crucial, because the sharks spawn right down this little passageway. I know you can't see very well, but here it is. We've got a ammo pickup out here. There we are. We've also got an ammo pickup, I believe, in this corridor, right up here. Yeah, so this is one of the easiest places for you to get ammo if you need to. Be careful of this little spot right here. Sharks can grab you, throw you in that corner, and you just can't escape. So be aware of that. This corner right here is where you're like, oh, I'm going to corner camp, but it's really easy for a shark to come right through here and snag you before you can even react, and just slam you through that corner. Oh, I almost forgot this big honking hole in the wall right here. Lots of places for them to come through. This is the spot where you are going to see a lot of rage thrown at sharks OP, divers OP, this map sucks, this kind of thing. Because this map, depending on your sharks and depending on your team, is either going to be a shark slaughter room or it is going to be a giant pile of chum for sharks to feed on. So, up the staircase we go to the 4th safe room. Now, there's not a whole lot of variation here because it'll either spawn on that side or it'll spawn on that side. Other than that, this room is exactly the same. You have a small little alcove up here, and then this hole that leads to the surface. You have this hole down here that leads to the floor of this entire map. And then you have 2 long corridors that end in L shapes. These doors are breakable, and if a shark is inclined, they can break these doors and then just have a real quick snag and grab. They'll hit here, they'll hit the wall, they'll come through here, and they'll come out the other side. If this wall is broken, there is in fact a ammo pack. You can kind of see it out there, the little yellow box. And I believe there's a med kit out there that way too. So it's not out of the way. Although you can also remember that if you just need ammo, there's also the ammo crate down here in the stairwell. So in this particular room, spears and harpoon guns work very, very well. Mines work pretty well. This is a wide area, so if you get a fast shark, they can completely dodge it. Although a lot of success has come from putting mines just below here where sharks can't see it unless they're coming into it already, or right up here. So if they try to make a quick vertical grab, they get blown to smithereens. I've seen a lot of that happen. I've also seen a lot of sharks try to come up through here and immediately get caught because there's no immediate lateral way. You have to kind of come through the divers to get through to your escape routes as a shark. So that's that. Speaking of which, actually, you know what? Let's go to this one. Yep, this one's got a med kit. Okay, so this corridor also leads to safe room number 2 if you follow it long enough through that breakable door. Alright, Steve's done. It's time for us to head on back, and what we'll do is we'll head through this particular window. He'll end up going through here, he'll end up going through this major window here, and it'll go straight for the magnet. This part right here looks really scary, especially for a diver's point of view, because there's no cover for you to take, there's nowhere for you to hide, but the brightness of this map is on your side. As long as they have to come kind of right in front of this building, you will see their silhouette, you will see them, and you will know where they're coming from and will be able to react to it. Your greatest threats are going to be whenever they kind of come from the side and then up around these buildings. That's when you're going to have problems. They will also try to escape through these trenches because it's a little hard to see down here. So, it's not that hard. This is not that hard of a place to escape from in terms of getting away from sharks, because there's also a lot of room to dive. So, keep that in mind. And with that, I think that just about covers it. Automatic rifles are good. Harpoon guns and spear guns can be good, especially on the last 2 safe rooms. The volley jet can be good in the first 2, but honestly, if you can afford a volley jet, you don't need a volley jet in the first 2 safe rooms. So that's going to take care of that. Mines and vision, of course. Mines can work particularly well in some certain areas, and vision is always great. With that said, there's going to be a gameplay guide and a card linked at the top right corner of your screen. As always, my name is Virixiss, and I will see you in the water next time. Bye-bye.